Continuing on from yesterday, today's major mission was to repair as much of this butchered wiring as possible on my blue-black 124. I did also purchase another immobilizer, mainly for the wireless central locking feature, but I connected everything much nicer than any of these clowns have done in the past. This damaged cable, I have put 4 layers of heat shrink on that, so I'm happy with that now. Even the combination switch, I pulled the socket apart and I individually repaired the 3 butchered wires in that as well, and then wrapped the entire harness back together again with the cloth tape. So this is the repaired combination switch harness after I finished with it. It's all wrapped nicely with the cloth tape. That's the high temperature stuff, so it has the superior adhesive to the cheaper version. This is where the original alarm system had cut into the start wire to the starter motor. Unfortunately, the cable is already butchered, so I just went ahead and added my own cabling and repaired it much nicer than it was before. So the immobilizer is cutting the starter from there as well. Not shown was where I did the fuel pumps, but that's in the A pillar as well. This is the central locking harness that was butchered. It's one of 3 places it's been cut into. I don't know if that means it's had 3 alarms in its life, but because this is the most difficult to repair, this is where I tapped into the central locking harness for the immobilizer for today. So that is now fully installed, although obviously I have to put the car back together and I have to install that LED back where it was. I'm not going to be using that one. I will use the original one that was with the previous alarm. So that's the central locking working, and that immobilizes the car. When that's flashing, the car cannot be started. When it's not flashing, you can start it as normal. It may not be audible in the video, but the fuel pumps do prime for the mandatory 1 second when the key is put into position 2, when it's not immobilized. When it is immobilized, there is nothing that happens to the fuel pumps, and that's the way it's supposed to be. One final demonstration from outside the car, where yes, it unlocks successfully. I can get inside, and obviously I can start it as well. I still have some assembly to do. That's mainly because I want to fit the original LED that's already mounted in that bezel, rather than installing the ugly one that comes with this kit. The one I had is much nicer. And you've got to love having an air pump desperately trying to warm up a catalytic converter that doesn't even work and probably hasn't worked for the past 20 years. But it's original and it's not causing any problems, so it will stay there for now. And this is all of the crap that I have removed today. That's all going to go in the rubbish. So of absolutely no use to me whatsoever. I can kind of understand why the installers of these alarms and immobilizers do such a crap job, because they don't make much money unless they can get a lot of them done. I spent 7 hours on this install today. If I was doing this commercially, I'd have to charge $500 to $1,000 per car, and no one's going to pay that.